Okay, what's up? Let's try this again. So, some of you guys were watching the last video. Sorry, everything kept bugging out. It was hot, everything was overheating, things were getting all weird, so we're just gonna redo the video now. So the video for today is understanding, right? So one of the things I want to talk about is the art of understanding, right? The art of understanding is a major key, right? You're gonna start to really break down what it means to understand, right? What are the levels of understanding? How do you understand something? How do you do these things? The problem is today that we all don't like being wrong, right? No one likes being wrong. No one likes knowing that they might not have gotten all the knowledge up to this point where they have a sense of full understanding on something. That's the problem when we talk about certain things. When we talk about diet, that's why diet's very touchy. That's why a lot of these things, social like relationships, institutional things, these things are all very touchy subjects, right? Because they require understanding, right? The problem is we don't really like to take time to understand, because to understand something takes effort, right? It takes a little more than just hearing, right? So there are 3 steps to understanding that I want to talk about today. Actually, 3 steps to understanding. So in order to understand, right, I have to hear someone first, right? I have to hear something. So once you always hear something. So if I'm in a car, have you ever had someone who's just like, blah, 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 you're like, I hear you, right? But you're not really listening, but like they're just talking, so you say like, I hear you, right? That's the first step, right? First step is actually just hearing, right? So boom, I heard it. Second step is listening. Now once I hear it, we all know there's a next step to hearing, right? There's a time where you slow yourself down, right? I slow myself down and I pay attention, I listen, right? Because you can hear and not listen, right? That happens a lot, right? So I have to sit down, I have to hear it, so I hear someone talking, and then they get my attention and I begin to listen, right? So second step is listening, right? So now I'm listening to you. Okay, you got my ear, I'm listening. Now the third step, right, and the most important step is the comprehension, right? Now can I comprehend what you're saying? Can I comprehend what I am listening to now? Right, so these are 3 steps. Now, the problem that we have, right, is that we like to think that all 3 of these steps happen at the same time, simultaneously, right? Like if I'm listening, if I'm hearing someone, then all of a sudden I start listening, boom, I can comprehend. No, right? No. Because what we have to remember here is that every person comes into certain conversations and things like that with certain knowledge base, right? I come with a certain knowledge base into a conversation. So you could hear me and you could even listen to me sometimes, right? But if you don't know some of the stuff that I know, it's gonna be hard for you to comprehend then the next level of understanding, right? It's gonna be hard for you to comprehend what you're listening to unless you know some of the things that I know, right? But that's logical, right? Because not all of us know the same thing, or we wouldn't have teachers, we wouldn't have things of this nature, and that's amazing, that's fantastic. Now, where am I going to talk about this, right? Why am I going to bring this up? Well, yesterday I had like a few people, right? Like 4, I think, 5 people comment to me about how I look, right? What I look like, right? The fact that I have a bone, like bones here. The fact that you could see this right here, right? That I look too skinny, right? Now, most of these people know me from when I was eating a lot of meat, I was taking protein shakes, I was in the gym lifting all the time, right? So we don't even have a concept on what real is. Like a lot of people don't even have a concept what I really look like. What do I really look like? What does my body actually look like when I'm not doing so many things to make it look a different way, right? Nature Boy had a great conversation today about perspective on these certain things. So process people in a sense, right? Now, what's processed mean? It takes that you have an organic thing. Like what's processed food? There's organic food, you take it, you change it, and then you make something else, right? Process. So I, for a while, looked like a processed person. I was super jacked, right? I probably weighed about 30 more pounds than I do now, right? But with that, I had a lot of sickness, right? I was having constipation problems, right? I had things going on with my unit that were all weird. Like sometimes like things weren't working proper, and I was like, what? All this stuff's weird. I'm too young for these kind of things, right? too young. Like some of my hair was getting a little light some places and things of this nature. You have like all these little like weird problems that were coming up. I was like, yo, so I started really having to think objectively, like, yo, I'm too young for all this stuff to be happening, right? I was very angry, like, not like angry, but because everyone thinks I'm very calm, but I was like emotional, right? So I wouldn't say angry, but I was swingy. My moods were very swingy. I go from here to here, things, all these kind of notions, right? So I had to step back and start looking at the stuff objectively. I looked at some of the stuff I was eating. I looked at the way I was going about my diet. Looked at the way I was going about my life. And some people know me that I used to have like this like nervous twitch. Like when I held my hand would always shake like this, right? And I used to be like, why? People would always say like, oh yeah, I still have steady hand. Now I have a steady hand, right? Steady hand. But I had all these problems, this anxiety. I was like, what the fuck? Like, why do I have these things? So I started doing research, right? So I started researching diet. I started researching the effects of different foods. I started researching all these different effects on my body. And with that, I started to develop what was a healthy notion of how to live, right? Certain things. Started changing up things and saw big differences, drastic differences. Now, with that being said, because of that, I wasn't eating as much material. I wasn't eating as much matter. I wasn't eating as much fats, things like this, right? So my body is going to start to alter, right? It's going to start to shift, right? Now I got very sharp, bony features anyway, right? So if I'm not inflamed, certain bony features are going to stick out, right? Now, there's certain people who want to eat different ways. Like if I wanted to eat like very heavy matter, I could eat a lot more grains, I could eat a lot more things like this, and I would puff up a little bit, right? So when we talk about the understanding and why I use this, because I'm only going to use references to me. Now, this is not to go as a detriment to anyone who is saying anything, because people try and generally come out of places of caring, right? Things of that nature. But when we do these things, we got to put it into perspective, right? Because just like you're trying to get me to understand the way you see me, now you got to understand the way I see you guys, right? You got to see the way I understand things on the flip side. So if you're eating certain things that I know are bad for me and are not good for my body, and I know how things work, and you don't know these certain things, right? And you're doing things as a detriment to yourself, right? Are you the person who should be telling me about a healthy living and what's going on here? Is your perception coming from the right place where you have an understanding, right, that I do about what we're talking about? And that's a real question. Now, a lot of people say, well, I grew up in, I went to this and this and this and this. I went to this certain school here and all these mainstream, I read this magazine. So when we start talking about things like that, we have to look at what society is looking at now. What are we looking at in society as far as public health? We're technically in the middle of a public health crisis in America, right? Most diabetes, most cancer, all these other things, we're in a public health crisis, right? So if you are doing the same thing and eating the same thing as most of the general population, should you have a say on nutritional diet? Should you have a say on what my body looks like, what my understanding of nutrients is, what my understanding of nutritional lifestyle is? No, right? Simply, no, right? Because if everyone who does a certain thing, so if everyone jumps off this thing, ends up dying, right? Jumps off this certain cliff, they all die. I see that and I go, yo, I'm gonna jump off this one over here, and I survive. And with it, I feel good. I get in this water and we find out the water is awesome, it's beautiful down there, right? If you're on this other cliff here, you're telling me, well, maybe you should do stuff more in between these two cliffs, right? Why would I chance it? I'm already jumping off this cliff, right? And I'm fine, I can climb up and jump in again. Why would I go to this cliff or even jeopardize moving in between, right? For something from someone who's trying to jump from this cliff over here, right? I wouldn't do it, right? It's not logical, right? If everything I'm doing right here is making perfect sense, and to me I'm okay with it, to me it's fine, right? Health-wise it's fine. Why would I go over and jump from this cliff, right? So listening, hearing, listening, understanding. So when you're watching me, when I'm doing these videos, right? I'm not doing these videos for you to look at me, right? I'm not doing them so you look at me. Because sometimes people want to see the face behind the name, in a sense. And it helps them to comprehend, right? You can watch my mouth, maybe I can talk with my hands and help articulate certain things and do it this way and break down, give you guys a little bit of stimulation, because sometimes when you just listen to something, if it doesn't have a beat, you get bored, right? So sometimes we like to see the movement, and that's okay. But you shouldn't be watching me watch TV, right? Lil Wayne said that. Don't watch me watch TV, right? Don't watch me My body is the way I want it to be. If you don't want your body to look like this, then you don't have to be a fruitarian, right? You don't have to eat the certain things I do, but know that within what I'm doing, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling healthy. So there's no reason for anyone to question me on my thing, right? Now, what some of us do, right? Some of us are having problems with ourselves. We have things that are going wrong in our lives, right? We have things and bad habits that we have, right? Habits like we have people who are drinking a lot, people who are smoking a lot, people doing a lot of drugs, people eating a lot of processed food, like eating fast food all the time, doing all these different things. So if you're doing all these different things, right, why would you talk to the person who seems to have a good knowledge on what he's doing, right? I don't drink, I don't smoke, right? I don't drink, and I don't have any processed foods, I don't have any meats, I don't have any dairies. All I eat is fruits and vegetables, mainly fruits, right? When I say vegetables, most vegetables are fruits, like cucumber. These things are like considered more fruits. And I don't even eat cucumbers like that, right? Most of my stuff are just like strictly like fruit, right? Well, what you consider like sweet fruits, right? And then I'll have nuts, right? Because nuts are technically fruits of trees as well, right? So those are the things that I eat. So I don't eat anything that would be considered even a health question, right? So if I'm not eating anything that would be considered a questionable health food, right? Something that might have adverse effects on me, what would make you think that my body is in any sense unhealthy? I still eat during the day. I can actually eat more, like I eat more fruit. I eat fruit, then I'll have smoothies, then usually around noon I have some nuts or something like that. Then I'll have fruits and smoothies with, again, certain, like, maybe I'll mix like a flax oil, I'll mix a hemp oil in it, stuff like that, just to like give me a little extra, like just to, if I even really need it, which I don't, right? But just sometimes I want to be like, okay, let me just add a little flax. Like, I had a lot of fruit today, just to make sure my digestion's right, I'll put a little flax oil in this, right? That's me doing basic stuff, but most of the time it's just strictly fruit and nuts, right? Not even in a smoothie form. And it's working, it's good, like my body feels good, I wake up, I still can hike, I still can lift, I still can run, I still can do all these things, but I don't see the need to stress my body. Why do a lot of us work out? A lot of us work out because we're trying to make up for what we're doing, right? We eat something bad, so we have to make up to work. We have to make up for it by working out. We have to make up for it by doing certain things like this. I skip that step. I'll look like this for the rest of my life. This is okay. If I'm an old man looking like this, people will be like, wow, he's in mad good shape. Because I'm young and your references, everyone's perspective reference, are meatheads, I don't look like a meathead. And I don't care that I don't look like a meathead. I don't care that I don't look swole. I don't care that I don't look jacked. If you look at my body, there's muscle definition there. You can see the muscles. You see the bone too? Yeah, because there's no fat. There's nothing insulating that layer, right? So there's muscle and then there's bone, right? You don't need that much fat. I got enough fat. But I don't need any more. I don't need to have little things covered up, right, with just a layer. There's no layer. It's just me. This is me, right? This is my body, right? My body. I eat mostly fluid. So what would make you think that my body wouldn't be fluid? What would make you think that I would be material big? I don't eat matter. If you eat a lot of matter, yeah, right? So we have to talk about protein then. Understanding, right? Listen to me, hear me, and then comprehend me, right? Your body does not take protein from the food and put it right into the place that it needs to go. It's not like, yo, I take this and put it there. No, your body metabolizes protein. Your amino acids build protein, right? You build the things you need. You give your body certain things, vitamins and minerals and things. You give it to it, then your body will actually goes in and builds it and puts it where it sees fit. So if you can be a fruitarian, but just work out all the time, and you're gonna get jacked, because then your body has to repair the tears in the muscle. So your amino acids get together, they break the shit down, they build protein, and then they'll place it to rebuild the muscle fiber. That's how it works. That's how biology works, right? So when we have these conversations, you remember we have to hear it, I gotta listen to it, then I gotta comprehend it. Now with the comprehend portion, comprehend might be more than listening to what's coming out of my mouth, right? So we have to remember, that's why I gave you guys a platform. I put my YouTube channel the way it is, right? I put all the information on the YouTube channel, right? All in the different categories, right? So you could break down and go in and see some of the things I'm talking about. You can make it yours. You can see societally, you can see biologically, you can see, like, as far as conceptually, right? We talked about, what was yesterday's conversation? What was yesterday's conversation? Give me a second. It wasn't jealousy. It wasn't understanding was today. Damn, well, anyway, I forgot what yesterday's conversation was. That's weird. I posted that video to prep you guys for that conversation on my page, right? And when I think about it, I'll get, ignorance, I'm sorry. Yeah, ignorance, yeah, sorry, my fault. Just been reading a lot today, so my brain's a little bit all over the place. Again, good book. Know your astrology, get it done, right? So, understand these things, right? So, I gotta be able to hear it, listen, comprehend. So in the comprehend portion, I might have to do a little bit of research, right? So you could hear me, right? You can listen to me, and then sometimes you might need to do a little bit of research in order to be able to then comprehend me, comprehend what I'm saying to you, because some of these things aren't in the realm of the norm, right? And if we were in a position now in society where there wasn't such a huge public health crisis, right, if people weren't so sick, people didn't have all these different issues and ailments and things of that nature, I would let people question me, right? If cancer rates, autism rates, all these things weren't way up right now, and we're all eating the majority of the same diet, I wouldn't mind questions coming at me, because that'd be logical, right? That'd be logical. I'd have to hear, listen, comprehend, try and do that with you. But I already did that. You gotta remember that I came from a point where I ate like this, all of you guys did. I ate the same way. And I'm saying that it wasn't working for me. I'm saying that this is working for me. I'm saying that this is good. Now, does it fit perception-wise, right? What we're talking about? No. It doesn't fit some of you guys' perception on what healthy looks like, right? I don't look like, again, I said this before, I don't look like a Men's Health magazine cover. And I don't want to. I don't care. Because you're not watching me to watch me. You're watching me to hear me. You're watching me to listen to me. You're watching me to understand, try and comprehend me. Comprehend some of this knowledge that I'm giving out. Comprehend some of these facts. Go on the page. Do your research. Right? I don't want you to just watch my videos. If all you do is just watch my videos when I come on here and check in, then you're doing yourself a disservice, because there's so much more that you're missing out on. There's the actual knowledge there. Right? I'm giving you the summary so that you go and do it yourself. Because once we start to have an understanding of each other, right, and once we can get a societal understanding of health just in general, of what are the differences, right? What are the differences in health? A lot of people, if you guys ate the same diet you ate now and didn't work out, would be huge, right? You're working out a lot to overcompensate for what you're eating, what you're doing. And that's okay if that's your life. Right? But I don't want that life. I don't transcribe to that, or I could have just been doing what I was doing. Right? Because I went through that. I remember I was working at the district attorney's office. I got the job at the DA's office, right? So while I was at the DA's office, I'm working with kids, all that. And every time you go out for lunch, right? So I'm going to this cheap little Spanish spot across the place. I'm getting my rice and beans and a meat and I come back, I'm doing my thing. But I was working long days, and I was going after, and I was doing personal training. Right, and I was personal training, so people don't know I was a personal trainer. So I was going after, boom, and I was personal training. I was doing things like that, conditioning classes, and I found that I wasn't able to actually get myself to work out that much, because by then I was tired, right? But I'm eating what would be considered pretty much a healthy diet: rice, beans, meat. Then I'd have some veggies, a little salad here. Like, I'm switching it up. Right, I'm doing different things. Now I find that I was gaining weight. Like, now I go to a basketball tournament, I remember, on my birthday. It was like right in the middle of my working day, and I take my shirt off. I had like a little bit of a belly. People like, whoa, man, you're getting big, bro. And I was like, word, because I wasn't getting to work out like that. Right? I couldn't work out. I was working, but I was able to work out. Now this slender physique all of a sudden started getting a little chunky. Right? My face was puffy. If I showed you guys pictures of my face was round. Right? There's a difference. I was inflamed. My stomach was out. Because I was just eating, but then I wasn't working out, right, to make up for it. Now, I can eat, I could feel great. I can wake up in the morning, because back then I couldn't even wake up in the morning, right? It was a struggle for me to get up. Getting up for work, I wasn't even going to work that early, and it was a struggle every time. Every morning, struggling to get up, right? Now I'm up at 5. I'm the first one up all the time. I wake up when the sun goes up every day, right? Word to God, you guys, anyone who's been with me, everyone's been at the houses with me. I'm not that last person up. I'm usually the first person up, and I'm just chilling. I'm usually reading by the time other people are waking up, right? By the time most of you guys get up for work, I've been up. I've been researching. I've been getting stuff ready for the day. I've been doing stuff because I'm up like that. I don't need to sleep that long, right? Once the sun starts going down, boom, I get tired. I go to bed. I'm running on the sun, right? That's why men get morning wood. We run on the sun. Women run on the moon. That's why you get periods in 28 days, right? The womb man. We gotta understand these now. But a lot of you guys have irregular periods and things like that because your body, you're eating processed food. Like I'm eating processed stuff, right? Again, Nature Boy had a great talk to you. Processed versus organic. We have to understand processed against organic. Processed against organic, right? I'm organic. This is me. Right? All I give you is me. I come out here, I tell you guys how I feel about things. I get vulnerable on here, right? I'm vulnerable on here. People can say all they want. When you're throwing shade, like that's because I'm vulnerable. You can do that. No one's looking at you, right? No one sees you guys. Everyone making comments on shit. No one can see that, right? But I'm in front of you. I'm vulnerable to the point where I'm letting you in. I'm letting you guys look at me. No shirt on, right? You guys are seeing what I look like. You guys are seeing me. You guys are. I'm showing you this stuff. I'm showing you my life. You see some of the places that I'm at, right? You're seeing these things. I am vulnerable to you, right? But if I'm gonna be vulnerable to you, and you're gonna feel like you have a certain access to me, well, you're gonna have to understand me. You're gonna have to at least try and comprehend me, because I'm not gonna be answering questions about things that I'm giving the information for you guys to know, right? If my body creates and synthesizes proteins, do I need to eat proteins? No, I just have to make sure that when it comes to the minerals and vitamins and minerals on the bottom of the bag, if you look at these hemp hearts, right? I don't look at the top, I look at here. Do you see all that mineral content? That's what's gonna make proteins and things like that. And only enough for me to sustain, right? I don't need to be huge. I don't do mad push-ups, right? I've been working on my flexibility, right? Another thing that I've been trying to work on, my flexibility. I'm not worried about being strong, right? Because naturally you're strong. When you get in a situation, you're strong, right? Like women lift cars off their kids, right? Do you think that they're doing push-ups to prep for that? No, because the opportunity calls for it. Their adrenaline, they'll do it. So when I need to do something, I'm athletic. Most people see me, I'm athletic enough. I have fast twitch muscles. I was a Division II athlete, then Division III for a year. Like, I'm an athlete, so I have twitch muscles. I can move. Do I need to be jacked? Do I need to be swollen? Do I need to be all these different things? Especially if it wasn't serving me. No, I don't. Right? I don't need to. So I'm using this as an example of understanding, right? Because we all have times in our life where we feel like we're not understood, right? And it sucks to feel misunderstood, right? All of us, all we ever want, all you do in your life, right, is look for someone to understand you, right? That's what getting married is. It's like, yo, out of all the people that I met in this world, this person understands me the most, right? So I want to keep them around. That's why you get married. That's why you have friends. Out of all these people around here, right, this person, they understand me the most. So that's why I want to be around. That's why we have to understand that these things are all the same, right? All the same. So that same equation works for everyone anywhere. Right? If I go on a date with you, and we're talking, and you're talking, I have to listen to you. I have to hear you first, right? You're talking, I gotta hear you. Then I gotta listen to you, and then I gotta comprehend you. Now, there are times when you go on a date, that's why we go on more than one date before we choose a person, right? Because yeah, I can listen to you, I'm hearing you, I'm listening to you, but I don't really comprehend you. Like, I gotta spend more time, we gotta go do other things, so I can see how you act in other environments. Now I can start to comprehend you, I can start to understand you more, right? That's what we come to, right? That's the notion of building a relationship, right? So we all do these things, right? So if I'm in a place where I'm trying to get to know you, I'm trying to get to know things in school, right? Let's think about school. Why do they give you homework? because you're in class, you're hearing them. Hopefully you're paying attention, so you're listening, right? Then I gotta go home and do this work to make sure that I'm comprehending what's going on. I understand why. And that's no different than these classes, right? That's no different than me coming out here. Because yes, some of this information is good for you to just take and go, right? But there's some information that if you just go to my page and look at, you can learn a next level, right? You can level up on it. And you get to a point where you have a great understanding, because there's understandings I have that some of you guys aren't really ready to talk to. I can't really bring this out to you yet, right? Because a lot of people aren't doing even the little bit of research, right? And I know because some of the people are asking me questions that if you guys are doing the research, if you guys went and looked at the page, the YouTube channel, when your spare time, if it mattered that much to you, you'd be good, right? And that's where I'm at. I want to come from a place of understanding, because I understand you guys, right? Because I was there. That's why this gets to be a point where people feel intimidated when they listen, right? I had some people hit me up, they get a little nervous when they hear certain information, they hear certain things. You should never be nervous, you should never be intimidated about certain things. Never. Especially because I put the information there, right, for you guys to take it to the next level. I'm not just saying this and leaving you hanging, right? On the YouTube channel, go on my playlist, there's the breakdowns. You could look into all this stuff so you can comprehend it, because sometimes like, yo, I'm hearing you, Matt, I'm listening to you, but I just don't see how it works. And that's why I have the biologist backing it up, right? That's why I have the naturopaths hanging up. That's why I have these people that backing it up, so that even if it sounds weird coming from me, you can see another source, right? And then just like anything, you take all that information, you put it here. You take your information that you have and put it here. Boom. Now that I got these two, now I decide. Now I decide, right? Then you send me a text like, hey Matt, I saw your information. I saw this, but it doesn't make sense this way because I saw it here. Why don't you check this out? Okay, boom. Then I'll go check it out. Then I reference it to what I have. Then I can say, well, that's good and all, but, or that works. Now I gotta switch up where I'm at. However, but if you're coming at me with the same thing, right? If we're talking about the processed food diet, right? I already see the evidence of the processed food diet. How many people eat like me in the country? Very few. How many people are vegan and vegetarian? 8 to 12%. Right? I would even just consider myself vegan and vegetarian now because I've only been at the fruitarian thing for a short amount of time. Right? I did a fruit cleanse. I remember, like some of you guys who follow me on Twitter, you guys saw that I did that in January, right? But even that was a lot stricter. There was only certain fruits and things of that nature. Now this is just like developing the lifestyle. I had to do that so I could kind of get to this point and be comfortable here, right? So, what are these steps, right? What are these steps? So what are the questions? I have no problem answering these things. I have no problem having conversations with people ask me. However, I want everyone to be in a place of understanding, right? I'm doing these things, and like I said earlier, I'm being vulnerable for you guys, right? I'm in a position when I do these conversations where you're getting to see me. You're looking at me. I take my shirt off on purpose, right? I'm trying to show you this is me. This is me. This is what I look like, right? Bone here, bony collarbone. I'm skinny. Anyone who knows me in high school, I was always skinny, right? But then it took me a lot of work. Like eating was work. I used to have to eat a lot. I used to eat all different kind of food. You know, I'd have to stuff my face, right? I was overeating, right? Then I was suffering. I was suffering here. How many people haven't pooped in days, right? And then come and talk to me about my diet? No. If you're not pooping regular, if your body's not on a regular schedule, then we should be worrying about that first. Then come and talk to me. Right? Once you got your body ticking, you're in shape, you're doing all, then we'll have a conversation. Oh. But if we got stubborn belly fat, we got cellulose here, we got all these different things going on, and then you're gonna come and talk to me. I'm not gonna acknowledge it. I'm gonna say thank you for your concern and all, but I'm good, and I'm just gonna tune you out, because that's like what it deserves, right? If you were an amazing violinist and I never really played the violin, and I'm telling you that you're holding the violin wrong, and you're just like, word bro, do you have something to say on this? Exactly the same thing, right? Exactly the same thing. So we have to have that respect towards one another, because I respect you guys. That's why I come out here and give this shit for free. That's why I have these conversations with you guys every day. right? I do this shit because I respect you guys. I have a respect for your lives. I respect for those things. That's why if someone does anything, I never shout them out. I'm never going crazy. I'll never say names, but people know that there was a lot. Like the ones you guys know, there was enough yesterday, right? And there was enough the days before, right? Because it's not just them. Yesterday, there was a couple weeks before. All the videos I've done with my shirt off, I get someone who's like, "Yo, what's good? Understand what I'm talking? Understand where I'm at. Understand what your perspective. Why are you doing the certain things you do? Are you doing it for the look, or is that natural?" Right? Because anything that I gotta put mad work in, it's not natural. That means I'm working for it. But why are we working for it? Are we working for it because we want to look good for other people? Because we're insecure about the way we look? Just natural? Do we even know what we look natural? Right? Is it comparatively to this person so I can look like them? So am I envious now? Right? Is it to make up for what I'm eating? So am I eating bad things? So now I have to do this to make up for it? Right? Do I not feel good? Or like, am I emotionally unstable? So now I have to eat for comfort. I have to eat certain foods so I feel better. We have to ask ourselves these questions, right? It doesn't have to be questions that are directed toward me, but I'm gonna be, again, beautiful thing, I'm gonna be your reflection, right? So whatever perceptions you have, whatever preconceived notions, you're gonna dump on me when you see me. You have to, right? Because I'm the one who's bringing them to forefront. If you're not really eating proper, you're not handling yourself, you're gonna question how I'm eating, of course, right? Because he's gotta be doing something fucked up because I can't be, right? Because he's looking too skinny. I want him to look like Men's Health, so he's not looking like Men's Health. He's telling me he's healthy, but what? But what? Health is how you feel, right? If I feel healthy, then I'm healthy, essentially. A lot of people are eating this way and not feeling healthy. Their bodies aren't reacting healthy. So we have to break these notions, right? Break these spells, break these understandings, these rationales that don't serve us. That's why it's called reclaiming your dominion, right? Ascension. All these notions, it's taking back notions that serve us. What serves us, what doesn't. If you're eating meat and dairy, it's not serving you. I can tell you that. We can say that, scientifically proven now, we can say it. So if you're eating meat and dairy, the conversation isn't even about health, right? Because you're already based on a flawed foundation, so we can't move up from there. So once you get yourself in a flawed foundation, then we could talk. I love to have plant-based diet people come in, and then we can have a conversation. Cool. Now we're on a constructive part, like, yo, fruitarian versus plant-based. That's an actual conversation, right? Now we're talking about something where we can have a debate, right? But if you're smoking cigarettes, you're drinking, you're doing drugs, you're doing all this shit to do all and eating all this processed food, going to fast food places, and then you come and conversate with me about health, then we have to talk, right? You have to understand, because I understand you, because I've eaten there, and that's okay that I have a little bit more of an understanding than you may have. That's okay. We have to accept that, right? There's an acceptance. Like, I had to accept I was wrong about a lot of things. I had to have people check me a lot. I get checked all the time. I'm very humble because I get checked. I get checked on things, right? Even when something's not directed towards me, I'll check myself when I hear it. Because if I know that's affecting me, then I'm like, shit, I know that I need to fix that. Right, because I had a lot of things I was doing that didn't serve me. I come out here, I talk to you guys about it. I was lusting after things, I was envious about things, trying to associate with things. That's why I'm able to talk to you guys about these things, because I'm coming from this place. I'm a place now where I don't really care. Right, I don't really care. I know how I feel. I know who I am. I know what's healthy is. Right, every time that I try and formulate myself to these other notions of health, something always gets lost. I never feel as good. Right, never feel as good. So, what serves you? Understanding, right? Hearing, listening, comprehending. Those three make understanding. The three prongs to understanding, right? Bring that into your relationships. Bring that into your research. Bring that into your life, right? Because those are the way that you'll be able to relate, right? Because that's how you relate to people. You relate to people through hearing, listening, and comprehending. Right? So if I'm hearing you, I'm listening to you, but then I don't do my work to comprehend you, I can't tell you that I understand you. Because I don't. Right? Because I don't comprehend it. I don't know it enough where I can see why your opinion is good or bad. Now I'm moving in subjectivity. And that's where we're at today. Right? That's why I talk about these things, because we're in a place where there's a lot of subjective opinion out there. Everyone has subjective opinion. right? Like, of course people in the military are gonna tell you that that's the way to go. Of course these certain notions are gonna happen. Of course, right? Of course. Whoa, hold on. It has to be that way, right? It couldn't not be that way, right? So, wrapping this up, understanding. 3 steps to understanding, right? Hearing, listening, comprehending, right? Where do you fit in that? What part of that is you? And that's where I'm gonna leave it on. So thank you guys for stopping in today, right? Hope this was a good one. I love you all. I love myself. Go check the YouTube, right? Go see it, right? Go look in the playlist. Get that information. It's good information. Do it for yourselves, right? I love you all. I love myself. Have a great day.